everyone, welcome back to Music Mania. It's me, Christina, and today I am already back at it with a brand new vlog. I already know. I was just at Blackpink 2 weeks ago, so yeah, everything is starting up really soon. But today is finally the day. It's been a long time now coming, but today I'm going to Warped Tour. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I still have memories from the last Warped Tour that we went to in 2019 in Mountain View, and I'm just like, all the memories are flooding back, and I'm just so excited to go. But yeah, I'm already coming like this now. I know usually I start the vlog off with like my pajamas sometimes, but I'm already running late, as it is with every show, so I'm already pretty much kind of ready to go as far as my outfit goes. I'm gonna have to show you guys my outfit. Here's the day one outfit. So yeah, I went with this Misfits shirt, and then I'm wearing my cargo pants today. Because honestly, today is super cold. I think it's only going to be about 73 degrees today. So I kind of just went for more of like the pant look. Honestly, really excited because I just have to get like a little bit of makeup on and then I'll pretty much be ready to go. But now I have to start getting myself together. I already brushed my teeth and I washed my face. I just have to brush my hair a little bit more. And then, yeah, like I said, I'm going to do my makeup, and then it's pretty much time to go. I'm very excited also, by the way, because this camera gets to come with me to Warped Tour per the rules. So, I'm very excited to use that, you know, use this over here and not use my phone, because normally when I'm inside venues, I use phones. But yeah, I'm very excited to get to use this camera today, finally, after all this time that I've gotten it for. So I don't think I'm gonna film myself getting ready right now because I need to move it because it's already 10 a.m. and the doors open at 11, and we're trying to see who plays first because we have no idea because they're keeping it to the true Warp style where we literally don't know who's playing and who's going on at what time. So yeah, I'm also kind of panicking a little bit right now. So I'm gonna get moving, and then yeah, I'm gonna get in the car and then we're gonna start heading over there, and oh my god, I'm so excited. This is gonna be so much fun. Alright, we made it! I've already got car sick too on the way here. So it's already been a time and we haven't even gotten inside. Alright, now we're gonna get in. This is the entrance right here. Oh my god. This is so cool. Oh my god, we're already near the front. Hey guys, so it's future me. Now normally you're used to seeing me towards like the last few parts of the video or towards the end of the video. But basically, like I said, I was very excited to use my camera in the festival, but my camera had different plans. So basically what ended up happening is that I filmed both days, you know, and had a whole bunch of videos. Come to find out, and I didn't even know until after I got home, but basically I can't use any of the sound on the footage because it has the most annoying ear-screeching bass I have ever heard in my life. To say that I was shocked when I watched everything was an understatement. I can't save the sound of it, so at this point I'm just gonna have to turn this kind of into like a montage video and then kind of give you my thoughts. Now, of course, there's still a few clips where you can hear my voice and everything like that, but none of the performances or anything like that, no, there's no sound, or if there is sound, it's one of the worst sounds I've heard in quite a bit of time, so I just wanted to save your ears for that. But anyways, here's what happened in the 2 days that I was at Warped Tour. Alright guys, and with that, day 1 of Warped Tour is officially done. This is probably the most stressful, overwhelming day I've had in about a minute. So yeah, I'm very, very exhausted. And now we are on the way back to the Ubers because we have to get an Uber to go back to my friend's house. So I'm sure that's not really going to be fun either. Also, this is the result of day 1. My hair is all the way up here. I started out very nice looking, so I know I had a good Warped Tour when my entire face is like pretty much all done. So yeah. Alright, so we ended up surviving somewhat day 1. I'm already pretty much ready to go. Just, you know, I'm gonna wear this shirt and I have shorts on today. And I'm also wearing my tennis shoes that I wore yesterday too, but oh my god, I'm so exhausted. There was like, I don't even think I could film as much as I really wanted to for everybody because this was like so much chaos going on because, you know, they don't have the performers or the set times or anything like that before you get there. So everyone's just running around. And I don't even think at some point you even really knew who was going on at what point. So it was just an overall mess. And on top of that too, there have already been so many issues with this festival. It's gotten to the point where the festival starts in the next 30 minutes and me and my friends are still getting ready because that's just how tired we were and we needed sleep. I don't know. It's like, it also too, because it's hot over here right now, we technically kind of got bamboozled because the weather app and like everything told us it was going to be 73 degrees and it ended up being like way hotter than that. So in my cargo pants from the hours of like 3 to 6 o'clock, I was going through it. It was really rough. And on top of that too, there's like not really any shady areas at that point too. And you would think, especially because in California, and especially like Southern California, we get a lot of heat near like the end of July and all of August. So yeah, I'm not really sure why that kind of is the way it is. Now it's time for day 2. I already have a bunch of crazy stories to tell you guys too when I get back home. But as far as like, you know, even with all the issues and everything like that, it's actually been pretty fun too. I think just being in the back and everything just makes the experience at least a little bit more, you know, a little bit more better. But we'll have to see how day 2 is today. We're actually, you know, funny thing here, we're actually not even taking Ubers today. We ended up getting a shuttle pass because they released more Sunday ones and they're like actually really cheap for like, it was only like $47 because the Uber last night to get back to my friend's house was $150. So yeah. So instead we're just gonna do the shuttle. At least it'll take us to there and then from there and back, and you know the drop off is like not very far from here anyway. So yeah, actually it probably will be a lot of a better experience today, hopefully. Well, fingers crossed. And you guys should also be proud of me because we actually took a lot of sunscreen breaks and we also got food and we sat around too for a little bit. So, you know, thankfully now I'm finally to start taking care of my body at least a little bit better than I used to back in the day. So yeah, I'm very excited about that at least. And like literally like I haven't had anything, no burns at all. I was getting a little red here yesterday, but it doesn't seem like it's there anymore. So yeah, thank God for that. Alright, so we just got off the shuttle and now we're gonna have to walk a little bit more because it's so far away. But yeah, day 2. I also have water now this time around. I'm gonna put some liquid IV in there because today is gonna be the hotter day out of the 2 days. So not really looking forward to that, but very, very excited. We came here kind of late, so we missed one of the bands that we wanted to see. But I guess that just kind of comes with the game, I guess. But yeah, we're gonna go see everybody else we want to see today. It's honestly gonna be more of a relaxed day too. So probably just gonna walk around and like look at the booths because they have so many things to do here and we just didn't get to see all of that earlier. All right, time for day 2. Let's go! Oh my god, I can already hear the music like all the way over there. Alright guys, and that is the end of Warped Tour. We're finally on the way to the shuttle now. We just made it, so yeah, at this point I'm like so exhausted. My feet are sore. I'm just ready to get back. And I actually have Lady Gaga in less than 24 hours because, yeah, surprise, I actually didn't even mention that at all. So yeah, that'll be its own separate vlog though. Alright, so now it's future me again here in the part of the video where I'm actually supposed to be. I definitely have a lot of things I want to say about this event. I'll try to keep it as short and concise as I possibly can, but there's just a lot I have on my mind about this event specifically. And you know, I'm gonna start off with the negatives first, because this video should end on like a positive note, but oh my goodness, for the fact that this was like the return of the festival in and of itself, I was there at the very last one in 2019. So I feel like I could say this. This was not the best venue, quote unquote, to hold this event at. I'm sorry, but closing down a few streets in downtown Long Beach, which already in and of itself is usually very packed, it did not need to be an event space. I feel like we literally could have gone a fairgrounds, just like they did every other year that they had this event. There's so many fairgrounds all around Southern California, really, that you could literally have done this event at, and it would have fit a bunch of situations that shouldn't have occurred while at this festival. Because of the way that it was set up, and of course because all they did was literally shut down some of the streets and put up stages and called it a venue, there were quite a lot of points in the festival where it would create these bottlenecks. So especially, like, for example, getting to the beatbox and the ghost stage, and this is just to get towards the back area. This is not even to get towards the front, because I wasn't in the front at all for any of the sets that I went to, as you guys literally saw. Just to get into the back area of the stages, you would have to go through a whole little bottleneck, because there's people trying to get into VIP, while also other people just trying to go straight ahead to like get to where they need to go. Or just like any other way, like even just getting to the other stages. In fact, in general, really, there was just a lot of areas where it was super tight, and so people just had to either wait or just squeeze their way into that, and that's really not safe, especially considering how now we're very hyper aware of situations like that happen all the time at festivals. Also, there was a whole on water situation that happened, so of course, because it's summertime, it's hot, everyone needs the water, you know, to stay hydrated, right? So I remember specifically seeing on the website that water was allowed as long as it's sealed, right? So of course, me and my group, we bring waters with us. Then we have security tell us at the door as we're getting our stuff in there that we cannot bring our waters in. That we basically have to empty it out even though it was literally factory sealed, it was not opened at all. And we had to dump our water and just leave it there. So basically, you're either forced to use the water stations or to buy water at many of the drink fountains or the stations, you know? And I feel like that is just a very poor choice on whoever's fault, you know, what that was. That is not a good option to do either. And on top of that, if you didn't want to pay for your water, then you basically have to go to the water station, which is all the way on the opposite side to where the Octopus and Shapiro stages were. And they only had one station, granted, with a lot of taps and, you know, a lot of like little areas where you could get your water. But there was literally only one station for all that. So basically, if you wanted to go get water and not pay for it, you would have to walk all the way to the other side. And especially if you wanted to go back to the main stage, you'd have to walk all the way back, which was a trek in and of itself. The final issue that I had with this festival was that there was a lack of shade anywhere in this festival, really. Now, granted, I stumbled upon shady areas within day 2, I believe, just because we just happened to find it randomly. But there weren't a lot of areas or really any shade that we can sit in. Now, I can say for when we were young, because I'm an avid festival goer too from time to time. When we were young, did a great job in doing a lot of areas with shade, and you could just sit under there and, you know, just hang out until you were ready to keep going. This festival had literally none of that. I mean, you were lucky if there was even any space involved in where there was shade to sit down and just relax for a little. Because of the amount of people that were there too, it made it very difficult. So now we can move on to the pros. Okay, I will say the biggest pro for me were just the bands in general. The bands were so much fun. So much fun. So much fun. Every single set I went to, I can genuinely say it was a really fun time. Now, granted, some of them more than others, but overall, very, very fun time with every single band that I saw. Although another con I should have talked about, just in the cons part of this video, was that every single band got their set cut short. Not because of their attitude or anything like that, although I think that was only the case with Boys Like Girls. But other than that, every single band got their set cut short because of the time. I think they only were allowed maybe 40 minutes. So that didn't really, it didn't account for interacting with the crowd or talking to anyone like that. They basically just had to play their music and leave, which is not a very good plan either to implement. So I don't know what the thought process was behind that, but a lot of bands got their set cut short, especially towards the end when that's the part of the set list when they play all of their popular songs. I don't know. It is like that too, especially for Cobra Starship, because they literally had the audience pick between Good Girls Go Bad and You Make Me Feel, because there was no time and the people in his ear were literally telling him like it's time to go. So yeah, definitely wasn't great on that part, but the set still really, really good. I will say the other pro for me personally was that there was a lot of food and water stations, so it was pretty easy to get food and water or alcohol or whatever you want. Although they did run out of alcohol on day 2, which I've never heard of a festival running out of alcohol ever, so that was just crazy. But a lot of food options too as well, so kind of a little bit of everything there. When I was there, I believe I had tacos, but they were like the 90s kind of tacos, like kind of like Del Taco tacos, but they weren't very good. I didn't like the ones that I got. They were very salty and didn't really taste good, but I still ate it because I needed food in me. The real saving graces were the drinks, of course, that I got. Some alcohol, some not, because I was trying to pace myself throughout the 2 days. But yeah, and then I think the best things that I had to eat there were the Korean barbecue tacos. Those were really good, and that was at day 2, towards the end of the night there for like my dinner, quote unquote. But now it's time to talk about the bands that I saw. You guys already saw the montages of day 1 and day 2, so I saw quite a lot of people. So I'll just kind of rapid fire because I don't want to make this part too long. But I'll start off with the Nova Twins. They were the very first band of the day that I saw. Now, I wasn't there to see them personally. I was actually waiting for one of the other people I'll talk about very, very soon. But they were awesome. The only way I knew of them was that they collaborated with Bring Me the Horizon. I'm on that one song, I believe it's called One by One or something like that. which is a good one. So I was like, oh, let me check that out. And sure enough, they were really, really good. I will say. Probably was gonna check out a lot of their music later on in the future too. It's good when they're when people were booing when they got their set cut short. So that's very positive too. Next up, we saw the band called Drain. Now, I have no idea what was going on because they had a person dressed up as a shark and they were dancing on stage, but it was really entertaining. They're more of a metal, I think like metalcore band. So it reminded me a lot of Knocked Loose. That's the vibe that I got from it. But it was really fun and really entertaining. I was towards the back in that set, but a lot of people were really into it and I was having fun. Although sometimes I couldn't really like hear what he was saying, but I think it's also because the stages would have audio issues at times too, so maybe it was also just that. But I still had a lot of fun. I was vibing along to the music and everything like that. Next up was Girlfriends. I had also never heard of them before, although I have heard of the singer before, so there's that, I guess. Their music was okay. I mean, not really too much going on there, just because at that point I was taking pictures and kind of doing everything like that, so yeah, it was fine. Oh, it was all right. Then we saw Sueko, who was one of the people that we were there to see, so that's who we were waiting for. His set was really, really fun, like it was the last time I saw him at Oliver Tree a little while ago. He was the opener for that. Really, really fun. He leaned in a lot more into his rock songs, which I guess I can understand. But I was also kind of hoping that he would play fast because I do like that song, even though it is such a dumb song. I can say that. It's fine. It's a dumb song, but I don't know. I wish he would have played that because me and my friend sing that song sometimes too, but it was really, really fun still nonetheless. The fact that he surfed on a surfboard and called it crowd surfing was iconic also too. Just really, really fun. Then we saw D Wayne. D Wayne, I always recommend to people going to go see his set. He is so much fun live. So much fun. Literally 10 out of 10 always. I've seen him I think about like now 3 times at this point. Every single time he's done really well. Really, really fun, very engaging. Definitely up and comer. He's gonna be big one day. I'm telling you right now. Seeing Ice-T at Warped Tour. Let me get on with that. That one was a whole trip. That one. Honestly, I was there just because of my SVU heart. I am an avid watcher. For those who would like to know, yes, I am an SVU stan. I have watched, I think, every single episode. So, yeah, I saw Ice-T there. I literally, the fact that it was like, okay, let me just get to this. First half of the set that he did was hip hop. So all the hip hop songs from like way back when in the 90s, whatever. Then he went into the rock because of course he has the band. I believe it's called Body Count. So they did rock songs towards like the other half to the end. It was pretty wild. That's really all I could say about that set. I guess it was fun, but there was just so much going on during that whole thing. After seeing Ice-T, we went to the main stages again because that was where we saw just a whole bunch of people. We were stressed. Day one was just, I believe, like everyone that we wanted to see, or mostly everybody, like 95% of the people we were there to see, all played on day one. So that's really how this conundrum came to be. Basically, we ended up seeing Hawthorne Heights. They're okay. Not my favorite, but I'll just go there to hang out. And then we saw Pennywise. Pennywise is a band from a long time ago. They're really fun too. I will say, honestly, the mosh pits there were so hilarious. Now, granted, of course, because it's all the old heads, they were moshing like there was no tomorrow. It was pretty insane to see. What a funny story I have too that I still talk about now. Probably will talk about for a while is the fact that we were just hanging out in the back and just singing, lying, vibing out, and all of a sudden like we just look in the distance like over there, and like we just see someone like toss up a turkey leg, like just yeet it up into the air. I don't know where it landed in there because the pit was pretty large at that point. So I have no idea, but it was just really funny just seeing a turkey leg just flying up into the air. Now at this point, the main stage had gotten really packed because Sublime was there and they were the next performers up. They literally also got a special opening from the Long Beach Mayor. So that really tells you. I honestly think about half of the festival itself was there at that point. It was so packed to where we were like really in the back for that one because there was no space going up front or just anywhere in the middle even. That was a whole mess. But that one was really fun. Sublime has so many hits too as well. Even the fact too that the original singer's son is the lead singer now. He's really good singer live actually. So I will say that because I'd never seen Sublime live before, even with the lineup change after the original singer had died. But he was really, really like a lot of fun. Definitely a party too. A lot of that going on because it's Sublime, of course. They think about that all the time. And then literally right after Sublime was A Day to Remember. And we only watched half of that set too. I was sad we couldn't stay the whole time. But Day to Remember, so much fun. So much fun. The clip of me shaking and jumping all around, yes, that was me during the Downfall of Us All, which is the very first song that they performed. I was going nuts to that because that intro, I think we can all say, is very insane still to this day. But yeah, for the songs that I did say and see and watch and dance along to, had a lot of fun. But then we had to rush to where the beatbox and ghost stages were because then we wanted to go see 3OH!3. 3OH!3 is a Vans Warped Tour staple, okay? I just feel like that's a band you can't miss every single time that they come over there. We already know their history too. Full of hits, really, really fun live as well. Just overall great time as per usual. And then to end off the night, we saw Silverstein and then Black Veil Brides right after that. Really, really fun too. Silverstein, we stayed towards the back. Their mosh pits were humongous. Really insane because we could see it on the screen too. Insane. Then again, it's Warped Tour. It's always going to be like that. Then at that point, a lot of people had left, so we stayed behind to, of course, go watch Black Veil Brides. That was a little bit more up close. Andy Black is. I just have to say, I like my emo men, so I was naturally just watching respectfully, of course. But yeah, Black Veil Brides also a very fun set too. I like a lot of their songs. I just don't listen to them as much as I probably should. But overall, still a very great time. I like seeing them too when they're at Warped Tour also. So as day one was my most chaotic day, day two by far was the more relaxed day. We got there later because, like I said, we were tired. We were done. So we couldn't get up right away. Day two was the more relaxed of the days. So that was the day that we checked out all the different activations and the different booths that were there too. Pretty much every single label, music label was there. They had their own booths. They were giving out different stuff. We didn't really stay for too long around there. Just because there wasn't really much going on as far as that went. So we just saw everything. I believe they were doing advertisements, I think for one of the Borderlands games, so they had that, but that was a very long line, so we didn't want to stay in that. We ended up getting the stencil tattoos, I believe, at the Fanta booth. So we stayed over there because they made that like more like a 90s, 2000s early throwback kind of deal. So we were just hanging out in there. But then as far as bands go, we saw We the Kings. They are very, very fun too live as well. Granted, I think they could tell that we were tired too because they wanted us to have a little bit more energy throughout the set. But I think it just could because so many people were just tired from the day before. It wasn't the same. I mean, I can legitimately say that too. It was just not the same as it was day one, just because they wiped me out and pretty much a lot of other people too as well. But still very, very fun. They're okay too. I don't listen to them all the time. I just know the one song. Then we saw Dancehall Crashers. They were so much fun. I hadn't heard of them before. So I was just there to just hang out, but they were really fun. And I don't know, personally for me, ska music hits so freaking well during the summertime. It just like that summer kind of music. So it was perfect for the festival. And then we were there to see Bowling for Soup. They're a fun band too as well. Saw them at When We Were Young on this channel here. You've seen it at When We Were Young. So we were also there for Bowling for Soup again this time around. Very, very fun band as per usual. Jokes going on, just all around mess, but in like the best, funniest way possible. So really, really fun. I don't know. Also, the Phineas and Ferb theme song still hits to this day when they still perform it, by the way. After this point in the festival, all the other stages that we went to were like the midliner stages. So basically, Beatbox and Ghost, and then Octopus and Shapiro stages was pretty much all we went to after that. So we ended up seeing Destroy Boys. They were really fun. I'd never heard of them before either, but they were a really cool band too. I couldn't really see or tell what they looked like because I was stuck in the crowd and there were just tall people in front of me, so I couldn't really tell. But it was still fun. I really like the music. I definitely checked out a little bit of their songs after I got back home. Okay, and then we saw Scene Queen. Let me just say, because I'd always heard of Scene Queen, and I had never checked out her music until literally when she was performing right in front of us. She was one of the standouts of the whole weekend for me, personally. That was so much fun. I don't know, I just didn't expect like what she was singing, but it was kind of like fun. I was hanging out in the back. Some of my friends actually went into the pit for her too because they wanted to go see her. So it was just me and one of my other friends in the back, and they went in the pit. So much fun. Twerking pit is iconic. She literally does a twerking pit where everyone just shakes in there. I should have gone in that, honestly, but I just didn't want to because not spreading my energy too thin on that. But I was still dancing around and everything. She was really, really fun. Yeah, definitely. I think when she comes back around to LA whenever she comes back, definitely I will go see her. And then the next few performers I saw, completely random. I saw Young Gravy there for a little bit. Um, yeah, Young Gravy's Young Gravy. I don't know. I've never really heard his music before all that often, really. I just know very few of his songs, so it was okay. But then I went over to the rec stage because that's this very smallest stages that they had. Hadn't been there at that point. I went over there to go see Johnny Gilbert for a little bit. YouTube represent, you know. He was okay. I also had never heard of this music either. He was all right. I will say it was fine. Funniest part of that though was that because I'm me. So basically, what ended up happening is that I think it was right at the end of the set, he threw some shirts into the crowd, or his team did, whatever, right? And literally, as he's about to leave the stage, he sees these two girls fighting, and he literally calls them out on it. And then me being me, because I'm just messy sometimes, he literally like scolded them for fighting, and I literally yelled into the crowd, I was like, "That's embarrassing!" And then I just left. Which it is embarrassing, especially like if you're literally fighting over something as dumb as a shirt. Now again, his audience is mainly teenage girls, and that's probably why they were fighting. I can say. So, but granted, still very embarrassing. You should not do that in front of the artist over fighting at something over like dumb like a shirt. Really, really embarrassing. And then me and my friend had to go run back to the beatbox stage because we wanted to go see Of Mice and Men. They were really fun too as well. I think they had some technical difficulties going on during their set because they had to stop the show too, I believe, at some point. But they still kept it going. The energy was still a lot like higher up too at that point in the night, so wasn't slowing down by any means. It was still really fun. And then finally we ended our Warped Tour experience by seeing the home team at the Octopus stage, which was another band I had never heard of before I went to Warped Tour, but then ended up becoming like, okay, like I like their music, like let me go check them out as well too. They're very, very fun. They're more of like a pop punk band, I could say. A lot of great energy there too as well, especially when it's towards the end of the night and people are just extremely tired now after being there for 2 whole days straight. But they were really, really good. I like them a lot. And then we saw Cobra Starship to really end off the night. Cobra Starship is a band that has been making appearances at pretty much like every single festival that's been out. So naturally, of course, they were also at Warped Tour. They were really, really fun too as well. Like it was just like a fun, dancey, like party way to really end out the festival on a good note. It was really, really good. So yeah, overall, I had a fun time, even with all of the challenges and everything that this festival was involved with. The bands honestly just made up the whole experience for me. Now, the question is, will I go again next year because they already announced that they're doing another one next year? Um, I'm gonna really say I'm unsure and probably skewing on the maybe not. I think the only way I would go is if the lineup was okay or if there was like a lot of people I wanted to go see, then I would probably go. Otherwise, I don't really think I would go back unless there are major changes made. Um, I'm sorry, I just can't justify like just the venue. I don't like it at all. The fact that we literally have so many different fairground areas that could comfortably fit a festival, like like when we were young does. They do it on an actual fairgrounds. Um, I just personally, I don't know or understand why they would just close down streets and call it a venue. I'm sorry, I can't justify it. I don't know. So unless major changes are made and stuff gets fixed before the next one, I'm skewing on maybe not. But of course, I always have good experiences when I'm with my friends or even just by myself. So I still had a fun time. As far as everything else went. Alright guys, that's the end of today's vlog. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like this video and also make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. I appreciate so much if you did. Also check out all my social media accounts. Will be down in the description box for you to follow and check out. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you next in the next video. Bye!